Get over here!
That's such a nostalgic sound to me, that sounds of
That's right, I remember
things on this map appearing.
I remember you mentioning that. So, the Tower of Valni has appeared to the east of Castle Frelia on the world map. Once held by Grado's troops, it has become home to a host of dark creatures. Battling these monstrosities is a good way for units to gain strength. Try using the tower as a training area to gain experience, but be aware, you cannot save your battle preparations for tower skirmishes. Once you clear a tower map, you'll have access to the next floor. Each floor is more difficult than the last, so come prepared. Dark creatures may also appear on other bases on the world map. To engage these demons in combat, simply place the cursor on their location and press the A button. If the battle goes poorly and you're in danger of losing units, use the retreat command on the map menu to withdraw your troops. So, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to an interesting episode that I don't think we've ever done this sort of thing in a Fire Emblem playthrough before.
We haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah, so, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the playthrough, commenting, giving us your ideas, and being patient when John and I needed a bit of a break. We're back after, what, 2 weeks?
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I've gotten a lot of suggestions on how to handle the maps and the skirmishes and whatnot. First of all, thank you for everyone who gave us your ideas, and I think I have a good plan on how to go about this.
Okay.
So, first of all, the Tower of Valni. I actually do think we can have the opportunity to go to the Tower of Valni eventually, as well as these guys, the skirmishes in the overworld.
That just appear randomly on different parts of the map.
Here's what we're going to do. We are actually going to allow ourselves to be able to play these skirmishes and the Tower of Valni. Here's the kicker. We're only allowed to do it once. So, when we choose to tackle the Tower of Valni, we have to be prepared and, have ourselves ready to tackle it as much as we can. After that, no more. At least until the post-game, maybe.
Yeah.
Same thing with the skirmishes on the world map. How we're going to handle it is we are only allowed to do a skirmish once on every location that skirmishes can appear. So here in the Zaha Woods, once we do this skirmish, we cannot have another skirmish in the Zaha Woods ever again.
Right.
So I think that is the best way to be able to, handle this situation, especially because hard mode is kind of kicking our asses,
and
so
I feel like the game is kind of balanced around skirmishes,
Yeah.
but we also don't want to
abuse
skirmishes for levels.
Mm-hmm. So, for now, what we're gonna do is, once we enter a skirmish in a location, we cannot enter a skirmish in that location again, but we'll also defer to you guys. Would you guys allow us to do another skirmish in the same location, maybe have a set limit somewhere? If things continue to go poorly, we can make that decision later.
We're up for suggestions. I know a lot of you guys I really appreciate a lot of you guys sharing your thoughts on how we're approaching doing the Erica route and not the Ephraim route. I know some of you guys disagree with it, but you've all been very respectful about our decision too, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to understand why we can't do both routes. That's just how it's going to be.
I just think it would be too much going between two different routes, trying to remember, okay, in this route, Ross was getting really good strength growths, but in this one he wasn't.
Yeah, there is one suggestion that I remember one commenter said, and I kind of would not be against the idea, is if once we're done with this one, we can do Ephraim's run through, but have those episodes on your channel.
I mean, that would be interesting, especially once so that I'm just so long as I'm not trying to remember both stat sets simultaneously.
Yeah, the idea is that, instead of splitting and then converging again, it would be two completely separate experiences.
Yeah.
You would have Ephraim on your channel and I would have Erica on mine.
So yeah.
It would be it's an option. I'm totally down to just do Erica's route on my channel, but if maybe for whatever reason we feel like doing
we have the
Ephraim's
save
route.
file for Ephraim's ready to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll think on that.
I am open to that.
Yeah. In the meantime, so we're gonna go ahead and tackle this encounter in the Zaha Woods. And again, I was mentioning this. Hard mode's been kind of kicking our asses, so like any extra opportunity to like gain experience is kind of a welcome idea. Speaking of which, yes, skirmishes still apply the Iron Man rules. So if we do lose someone in the skirmishes, they're gone. That is why the retreat option is actually a good idea.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the long and short of it.
But because we can only do one skirmish in each area, doing the retreat options comes at the cost of, like...
not being able to do it again.
Yeah, you're never going to get those experience points again.
Exactly. So, like, once we actually, like, enter a skirmish, we gotta make it count. I think everyone's pretty good on the supplies. We pretty much, like, got everyone good stuff, like...
Yeah,
from
we
the
fitted
previous
everybody in Chapter 8.
Alright, so I'm going to definitely want your assistance on this one, because you're better at, like, managing all this kind of thing. During the skirmishes, tell me who you want us to level up. Who do we want to focus on?
Yeah.
Because these are going to be the opportunities for us to really get our A-team going. Speaking of, Erica is not required in these.
Yeah.
So we can actually bypass giving Erica experience in favor of giving experience to some others.
Which I think we should do, because I would hate for Erica to hit level 20 and be stuck there until, like, chapter 16, I think.
I completely agree. I'm actually willing to go ahead and, like, not skip the prep here, so immediately right out of the gate, Ross is one I definitely think we need to focus on.
Yeah.
As well as Franz, and because we lost Seth, I think we need to get Gilliam up there.
Yeah.
Speaking of, actually, before we do, let's check the map. It's mostly zombies.
Yeah, we got some Doogs down there.
Ooh, these guys are fast, so we gotta be careful with that. Thankfully, they're at a bridge, and none of these guys, if I recall correctly, have any range attacks. So if we can rush to the bridge and, like, plug up that gap with Gilliam, we should be able to handle them pretty like, significantly. We also got a Doog over here, actually.
The skeletons have range attacks sometimes, but it doesn't look like these guys do.
Yeah, we got Iron Sword, Iron Lance. Yeah, the Bone Walkers just have, melee weapons. Yeah, this doesn't look like all too difficult of a map. But still, let's be careful.
Yeah.
So who else do we want to focus on here?
Arthur is just really good against monsters.
This would be an opportunity to get him up there.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously Loot as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Arthur and Loot can come.
Yeah, Loot and Arthur, like, he has effectiveness, she has the power and the speed.
Yeah.
Joshua, definitely.
Okay.
I say Joshua and Natasha. Like, give Natasha some healing experience.
We're gonna need a healer anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. One more.
Maybe one more frontliner.
Maybe not frontliner. The other option I was thinking is Vanessa.
I could go with Vanessa, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, Vanessa has proven herself to be useful. She could use the extra experience. And in terms of frontliners, we have Gilliam, we have Franz, and we have Ross.
Yeah, not so much a frontliner as somebody who can block if necessary.
Yeah.
If we get overwhelmed.
I think Franz, Gilliam, and Ross can handle that job.
Okay, do we have any javelins floating around?
That's a good question. We should.
Maybe, in the convoy.
Oh, do we not?
They might be in the convoy.
No, we don't.
Oh, guess not.
Wow.
Okay, something to shop for after this chapter then.
He has a javelin, but it's only 3
yeah.
charges left on it, so we're gonna have to use that sparingly.
Yeah, hopefully we can buy another one next chapter.
We're just gonna have to make do with what we got here.
Okay.
Alright, and formation, let's put the big guys in front. Yeah, at this point it's pretty much just let them come to us and make sure that we can handle it.
Sounds good.
What level are they actually now that I think about it? 8.
Yeah.
Not terrible, not terrible. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna save. Shall we?
Let's do it.
So yeah, if I recall correctly, this game is kind of like the first to really do this kind of thing.
The first in America, at least. I mean, Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
Fire
Emblem Ninja Gaiden.
Fire Emblem Gaiden had a kind of like where you'd wander dungeons and run into skirmishes, and like some of them were skippable depending on how you went.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could kind of like just run back and forth and keep fighting them. But aside from that, I don't know if there was ever like open roaming like this game has.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, right there is our line, and we can just kind of like bring everyone forward from there. Yeah, I've been on a Fire Emblem kick lately. I remember we mentioned that I was playing through Blazing Sword, but I also took the opportunity to play through Engage again.
Now that all the DLC's out.
Yeah. Fell Xenologue was hard, man. Like, I actually was quite impressed with how difficult that one was, for a very different reason. So, unique to Fell Xenologue, I noticed, is that you don't gain experience from that entire thing.
Oh, okay.
And you don't actually choose your own, like, supplies, you don't, like, choose your own classes or anything. It's all predetermined at every chapter.
Interesting, okay.
So every chapter becomes less about, like, you know, the experience and, like, the, managing everyone's, like, you know, inventory and all that jazz, and more, this is what you got, figure it out.
Yeah, it's more of a luck scenario.
It's actually kind of interesting, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I haven't felt super motivated to go back to Engage.
Honestly, I don't blame you too much because, also, like, the consequence of me playing through Engage, right? I learned how much I'm not a fan of the narrative, or, like, just the general, like, feel of the game's, like, story, if that makes any sense.
It's also just, it's hard for me to want to get back into a game once I've walked away from it. Like, I still have not played Ashen Wolves.
Have you not?
No.
Wow.
From Three Houses.
That is one DLC I actually say is worth it, because, like, I think
Yeah.
Three Houses handle it really, really well.
Like, and that's one that I am actually, like, kind of interested in. I've just never gone
never
back
got-
to it, because I'm never lacking something to play.
That's fair. None of us are, dude. Like,
Yeah.
my backlog is embarrassedly, like, full.
I am in constant battle with my backlog.
Alright, this Duke has, like, quite a movement speed, or, like, movement range, so I gotta be careful with that. Yeah, just put him in there, and I think we're good.
You know what I beat recently, actually, that's been on my backlog forever?
Yeah?
The Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy Color.
I was expecting you were going to say Final Fantasy VII Remake!
Yeah, that also, which we were just talking about
Yeah.
before we recorded. Yeah, I've been crossing a lot of games off my backlog this year. I made a list of 20 games on my backlog that I'm like, these absolutely need to get beaten by the end of the year. And that's made it a lot easier than just like the giant glut of like 50 games.
No fooling.
If you start organizing your backlog, it gets a lot easier to manage.
Yeah, like, a couple of games that I know for a fact I have on my backlog is, everyone's been, like, ranting for Baldur's Gate, which, from what I'm to understand, is fantastic.
Yeah.
Even Amber's gotten interested in playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I'd like to play Baldur's Gate 3. I played the original. I never beat it, but I got to Baldur's Gate in Baldur's Gate.
Have you played both of the original ones?
No, only the first. I have both of them on Steam.
Right. Yeah, I played through one, most of two. I mean, I beat it, just I never really did any of the side stuff because I pretty much, like, moved on from there.
Original Baldur's Gate is hard.
It is hard, dude. Like, super difficult.
It's one of those games where, like, most of the battles are pretty much decided before you start them by, like, how well you prepared for them. And after that point, it's kind of just, like, releasing the hounds.
Pretty much. What are some other games you have on your backlog?
So, Pikmin 4, I'm going to start
yeah.
any day now. I'm just waiting for the right amount of time when I have a lot of time to pay attention to it.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised you haven't started that yet, because I know you're a huge Pikmin fan.
It's one of those things where, you ever have, like, a game where, like, you're so excited to play it and you won't start it because you need, like, the perfect time to start it? Like...
I might have. I'd have to think about which game that applies to.
Of, like the other day I was hanging out with our friends Patty and Tao, and I had my Switch with me. Pikmin 4 was in it. I could have started it, but we were like hanging out. They were like watching TV. I was like, I want to be fully immersed in Pikmin 4 when I start it.
That I can totally understand, actually.
Yeah.
Like there are games that you can kind of just like play while like there are distractions going around, but then there are those games where you need to sit down. You need to like be able to like do this like, you know, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, no distractions or whatnot.
Whereas like Triangle Strategy, besides the cutscenes, you know, battles I was able to kind of do handheld on my Switch while me and Allie watch TV and stuff like that.
That's how I am with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, like I'm able to just like play through even Three Houses, which I think has a really, really good story. I was able to just kind of like pick up and play.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, because like again, you can kind of just, you know, take the turns at your own pace. One game I can definitely think of that I was not able to truly like distract myself from, like I was like, okay, I need to play this, I need to focus on this one. It was Tears of the Kingdom, man.
Oh yeah, everything in my life stopped for Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my god, me too. Like I think I expressed this earlier, but one sweet thing that I really appreciate about Amber and I is that, like, we kind of have, like, this kindred appreciation for The Legend of Zelda, specifically Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because we started, dating around the time, Breath of the Wild was big.
Yeah.
So she and I actually did a playthrough together during our first years of dating, and then, just before the wedding hit, when we got married, we played through Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So, it was, It was kind of a it was kind of a serendipitous and very perfect experience playing through those games. I'm going to have Ross bait this guy. Wait a second. Do you have a sword or do you have a sword? Franz, you do it.
Yeah, it's really great when there's like a game that you and your partner can be into at the same time.
Especially because like Amber is like the casualist of casual gamers. Like she and I do not share a lot of the same interests when it comes to gaming specifically. Aside from certain ones, The Legend of Zelda, obviously, and she does have, like, a passive appreciation for certain games like Street Fighter. She's not into Street Fighter, but she appreciates, like, the art and the characters, things like that.
There are some games that, like, Allie will, like, experience with me, but she just doesn't really want to play them. She doesn't want to be in control of them. But then there are other games like Persona 5 Royal. I was like, I know you'll love this story, I just don't know if you'll want to do, like, the turn-based mechanics and stuff, so, like, do you want to do, like, a playthrough with me? And partway through, she was like, hey, I'm gonna keep, like, watching you play this, but also when you're not around, I'm gonna start my own save file.
Aw, that's great. Yeah, Amber and I actually played through Persona 5 as well. She relatively enjoyed it. Not as much as, like, other games that she's into, but she enjoyed it.
Games where you can, like, make certain decisions
Gilliam!
like that. Nice. Games that have, like, decisions and, like, relationship, like, choices and stuff like that, I feel like are really good for that kind of thing where you play it together and, like, make... Your playthrough kind of becomes, like, your shared experience.
Definitely. Oh yeah, like, I can definitely tell you right now, another game that's kind of, like, in the same vein of, like, Amber, like, probably is not going to be a huge fan of actually playing it, but gosh darn it, did she love it, was Hades.
Yeah.
Hades, like, everyone who's played Hades knows how difficult that game can be, so, like, Amber is not, like, that super, like, big into it, so she never really got a handle on it.
Yeah, because...
But, God, did she love watching me play through it.
Hades has a relatively high skill curve.
It does.
Or skill floor is what I'm trying to say.
It has a high skill floor and kind of a high skill ceiling, too. It's not an easy game. And even then, like, you know, I say that, right? And yet, I can safely say that, like, Hades is arguably one of the most forgiving, roguelikes on the market right now.
Definitely.
Like, it is a hard game. But it's not the hardest roguelike you'll ever play. Believe me on that one.
Just if you don't play a lot of, like, execution-intensive games, you know, like turn-based games, even really hard ones at least, like, don't depend as much on you, like, executing the right buttons at the right time and stuff like that, so I think that's easier for some people to get into.
Yeah.
I don't want to say for non-gamers, because I see Amber play games a lot.
Again, there are those games that she actually really does enjoy playing. A couple days ago, she actually did a full playthrough of, like... She was just like, oh, I felt like doing this today. She did a full playthrough of Abzu.
Nice.
And, like, again, Abzu is, like, there's no, like, intrepid danger in Abzu, but it is still one of those games is, like, you know, there's some scary moments, there's, like, some tension there, but no, she loves those kinds of games. In fact, what's the developer for Abzu again?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
I don't remember, but, like...
Are they the same people who made Journey?
Yeah, the same guys who did Journey, they did Pathless, they did,
Flower?
I don't remember.
I want to look it up on my phone, but I just remembered I don't have my phone right now.
Yeah, Amber and Allie took our phones because they're going to do the Pokemon Go Fest Mega Rayquaza raids, because gosh darn it, do they need help with that one.
Yeah, speaking of our partners gaming. They are gaming as we speak.
Speaking of which, that is another one. Pokemon, like, she does have a passive appreciation for, especially because, like, that's a childhood one for her.
Yeah. Just like with turn-based RPGs, even the harder ones, at least you can, like, have time to, like, stop and think about what you want to do. Whereas in Hades, you know, you need to formulate a plan and execute it all at the same time.
Yeah, like, Hades is an adrenaline rush from beginning to end. You have to know what you're doing in order to, like, be able to fully experience everything that game has to offer. Because, yeah, like, the game does progress, even if you fail. Like, the game does, like, the story does continue even if you do not, like, complete a run.
It's very failure friendly.
Yes. But at the end of the day, eventually those failures are only going to get you so far. In order to experience the rest of it, you kind of need to get good.
Ross can go over the river if you want to, like...
Oh, yeah, I forgot he can do that.
If you want to, like, set up a new front with him and maybe have Lute attack that skeleton.
Yeah, he's at full health, so I doubt a Doog is going to do much to him. Doogs are, like, super fast and, like, super mobile, but they're not the strongest.
Yeah, they're good at doubling.
Yeah, perfect. Man, Joshua hasn't seen any action at all yet.
Nah. That's my... I love Joshua. My problem with Swordmasters, I tend to have a little bit more trouble leveling them because I want to be more careful with them.
Yeah.
Whereas...
Oh, I forgot that. I was supposed to let Lute...
Yeah, but that's okay.
Oh, well.
Ross can have that experience, too.
I mean, if nothing else, like, Ross definitely is one character who we are never going to say no to experience for, because, good lord. Actually, I'm gonna have Lute come over this way to help, Vanessa.
Yeah, even though Ross promoted, he's essentially still a first-tier class. He's got a lot of room to grow.
What else is on my back? One game that I know for a fact is on my backlog, and I'm ashamed to admit it, is Valhalla. I still haven't played Valhalla.
Yeah, good game, very chill.
Yeah, I hear it's great. I just need to get off my butt and play it.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
What else? I finally got Dead Cells off my bucket list, or like my backlog a while ago.
North must be happy about that.
Oh, he absolutely was ecstatic when I started playing Dead Cells, which I don't regret at all. Dead Cells is a great game. And now that one joke that I made in Skull the Hero Slayer no longer applies, because yes, I now have played Dead Cells, so I understand the references with Prisoner Skull.
Dating your own videos.
Yeah, this'll work, actually. Pikmin
4 is definitely the next game I want to tackle.
I don't want to use any vulneraries yet, or during this, so I'm just going to danger.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What I can do is bring her over here and heal her up with Vanessa, or Natasha.
Yeah.
And then she can go down and try and get that spider later. Preferably on those ruins, so she can get the defense boost. And then she should be able to take it out with Lute's help. Just making sure no one can reach. Yes, we are good.
No More Heroes 3 is one I've been really meaning to get to.
No More Heroes 3 was an interesting beast. I mean, the entirety of the franchise is an interesting beast, but 3 especially, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, somehow 3 manages to be really weird amongst the series that's already really weird. It's, like, not weird in the same way as the first 2.
Do you think Joshua can go ahead and actually, like, take that Doog?
Yeah, I think so.
He's got the speed not to be doubled.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially in the woods there.
The cool thing with these like skirmish maps is that these guys are actually shockingly passive. They will not attack you until you get into their threat range.
Which is why they're so easy to just farm for experience, and we're not gonna do that too much.
Yeah, I am going to like be a little bit like slow here as well, just to make sure that these guys, like, we don't provoke too many at once. Oh, yeah, he's going after Ross, actually. Jesus, Ross!
Just lop a dog in half.
Okay, where can you reach?
Not very far.
Okay, no, the ruins actually are not defensive at all. What I can do then is, Vanessa has enough health, I believe, to take one hit. So it's just a matter of like,
do you want to?
Actually, if we bring Joshua here towards this guy and take him out, and then we can like kind of like group everyone here, Vanessa can bait the spider, and everyone can kind of like pile in just in case things go sour.
Yeah.
You actually need to be weakened a little bit. Preferably not. Oh my god.
I mean, do you want to, like, have Joshua... Oh, that works.
Yeah, I'm willing to do this.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to get Joshua a little experience.
Yeah, here I was worried that these would, like, supply us with maybe make things a little too easy, but we're actually not getting that much. So, I'm fine with this. Beautiful. Oh, well, it's about time. I swear, strength is just not agreeing with us this entire playthrough, dude.
Nah.
Like, for real. You're noticing it too, right?
Yeah, we're having a low strength run.
Ugh. See, like, a couple people have told me that no, difficulty does not affect, growth rates, but I'm not convinced! Because I went through the exact same thing back in my Blazing Sword Hector Hard Mode run, that I was getting, like, low stat increases, and, like, strength in particular was, like, noticeably scarce. Maybe it is a placebo effect, but I'm just like, what is happening here?
I believe in Binding Blade, hard mode actually increases everyone's growth rates.
Does it?
I think so.
That would be nice. Yeah, we'll put you in the bridge. Actually, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna have Franz do it.
Okay.
And just to be double, triple, quadruple safe. Plus experience,
Plus
why
experience, yeah. That's the part I like about it. I'd love to get Natasha up to Bishop or Mage Knight, whichever we decide.
I think for the most part, her main thing... She only has 4 in magic? Jeez.
Oh, wow. That's a lot lower than I thought.
Yeah, we haven't been getting good magic rotes on her either. You see what I'm talking about here, guys?
Yeah.
Like, I understand that it's probably placebo, but if it is, it's a very convincing placebo.
I've been reading,
That was a really good dodge by Franz, too.
I've been reading the Discworld novels by Terry Pratchett.
Yeah?
Speaking of placebo, right now I'm reading the book Equal Rights, spelled R-I-T-E-S, which is about a witch who got in charge to train a young wizard.
Yeah?
But it's just really interesting because it talks about how witches work in the world of Discworld. And it's like, they can do some stuff that would be considered supernatural, but a lot of what they do is just placebo effect. And she's talking about, like, you know, she gives, like, potions to people to help them with their various ailments in town. And she says, like, oh, well, I know, like, what herbs are, like, good for stomach aches or good for dry coughs and stuff like that. But then what I also do is I, like, chant some nonsense over the cauldron before I give it to them. And if you do stuff like that, people's minds have a way of healing themselves.
That is interesting.
And there's this great part, because the little girl she's training keeps being like, when are you going to teach me real magic? And they have arguments over what is considered real magic. There's a part where they go into the backyard where Granny Weatherwax keeps all her bees.
That is a great name, by the way.
And she lifts up the, like, covering on the first hive and she says, you see this? This is real magic here. Look at these bees. And she's like, oh, that's just what bees do. And Weatherwax does this thing where she, like, reaches her hand in and then just, like, pulls out the queen without even trying. The queen's just, like, sitting on her finger. And she says, now, how do you think I did that? And girl says, well, it could be magic, or it could just be you know a lot about bees. And she says, exactly.
That is very true. Like, that, like, for all intents and purposes, like, I remember, in Metal Gear Solid, in Metal Gear Solid 3 specifically, there was a conversation that was, like, referring to the kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Where Snake was, like, just scoffing at the idea of, like, I don't believe in that hocus mumbo-jumbo. And then Paramedic is like, well, don't you think that maybe science is basically just this world's form of magic?
Yeah.
I actually really like that analogy.
Magic is just science we don't understand yet.
Yep, there you go. I actually do like that because some of the things that science can pull off is actually pretty freaking remarkable. Like, say what you will about, like, you know, oh, like, all this technology, like, in the, like, for some reason, like, we don't seem to get the advancements we need nowadays, and it's like, guys, we are far more advanced than you give the human race credit for. Do not undersell just how far we've come as a species.
I mean, the average person is living in more comfort than kings were back in the Middle Ages.
Yep.
Which is something to think about. Best part, she, like, when she's ready for her student to, like, graduate to the next level, she says, like, I'm gonna ask you a question, and if you get this wrong, I'm gonna send you home and stop training you. And the witch gets her witch's hat, and she says, like, tell me what's special about this hat. And the girl thinks about it for a little while, because there's, like, nothing special about it, and she's like, well, I guess it's kind of in two parts, because I know it's a witch's hat because you wear it, and you're a witch because you wear the hat. And that's just like, that's how witch magic works.
Oh, this guy's actually got some power behind him.
Yeah, that's a big spider.
It's the boss spider. We may need to think about this one, because this guy's actually pretty dangerous.
I think if we pelt him with enough magic, we could just, like, wear him down.
Yeah, and then make sure that this spider can't reach any of our mages.
Them off with someone.
Let me see what Ross can do. Yeah, because here's the problem. This guy's on woods.
Yeah.
I am willing to, like, retreat a little bit.
Okay, we can back up.
Do you have you have an elixir on you, which might be too big of an investment, but
we could trade for somebody's vulnerary.
I'm just looking to see what we can do here. Actually, no, we might be able to take him out.
I think we could give it a try, and even if we don't kill it, we might be safe enough to not get hurt too badly in the follow-up turn.
Alright, we're gonna go for accuracy here.
Okay. Yeah, because I think we can block it off properly enough.
Or at the very least, like, one thing we could do also is if Vanessa wants to, like, go in and rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do here. Nice. I think Joshua can take it out.
Yeah, go for it.
With a killing edge.
Yeah, we just need to land.
Let's go.
Good dodge, Josh.
Yeah! Beautiful!
Attaboy, Joshy.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're safe. What can you do against this guy? I mean, not great.
Yeah, also that would kill her.
Yeah. Okay, let's heal you up. Because you are actually pretty hurt. That guy had a pretty strong weapon. And by weapon, I mean claws.
The claw.
Yep, move over here. And we're golden.
Alright. And that's going to be a much easier spider to defeat. Also, it shouldn't... Yeah, it didn't stop on woods. Though still dodged, oddly enough.
Gilliam.
What can you do?
Yeah. Now, we should be able to handle this just fine. I'm gonna save up on Lute's magic. She's running out.
Okay.
Like, she's only got 4 charges on that spell. On that fire spell now. Not bad.
I know the next town has a shop.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's the town where the next chapter is, so we... maybe one of the... Maybe there's a magic shop on the map that we can get to now.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can weaken this guy a little bit more. Yeah, I'm willing to do this. Ugh.
Yeah,
Seeing those low numbers is still,
I
like,
hate seeing it.
intimidating as hell.
Do you want to give it to Joshua again, maybe?
Yeah, Joshua hasn't had enough action. We might as well give it to him, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Alright, and there we go. That's all she wrote. So yeah, that's pretty much all it was, guys.
And with very little fanfare, that's the end of the skirmish.
Yep, so yeah, that's pretty much how we're going to be able to handle skirmishes from here on out. So, mark that down as the Zaha Woods completed.
Zaha.
And let us know, guys, like, do you think this is a good way to handle this? Do you guys have any other suggestions that we might be able to utilize in the future? Let us know down in the comments. So, until then, I'm the Green Scorpion.
I'm the ComicFoil.
Let us know what games you guys still have to play.
Yeah, what's in on your backlog?
Yeah, God knows we have a lot. See you guys next time.
Gotta play Bayonetta 3, and A Hat in Time, and Super Mario Wonder.
I mean, okay, Super Mario Wonder hasn't come out yet.
I know, but by the time I get anywhere on my backlog, it's gonna be out.
Fair enough.